This is Kalyani, and you're listening to Making Wave CXO series, presented to you by Marketing Weekly. In each episode of this podcast, we attempt to showcase the worldly outlook of top business leaders through a set of thought-provoking questions. Today, we have with us Mr. Harish Goyal, CEO Asia Pacific and Africa for ZEE Entertainment Enterprises Limited. Mr. Harish has a rich and productive experience of 25 plus years in 70 countries and possesses extensive business background in national and international multicultural environments across the domains of media, telecom, infrastructure, consumer durables, and electronics. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Over to our host for the day, Akshay.
Good afternoon, Harish sir, and thank you for taking out the time to do this podcast recording with us. First question to you would be, how does your role as CEO of ZEE APAC plus Africa compare to your previous managerial and, if I may say, very illustrious experience across the technology, media, and telecom spaces?
First of all, thank you, Akshay, for connecting with me during the current COVID times. Technology is really helping all of us to stay connected. And to answer your question, there are few similarities among, media, telecom, technology, infrastructure, the industries that I have been connected. And at the same time, I would say there are few unique experiences of media. If I have to get specific, I would say that the basic business challenges, people challenges of each segment are similar. They're not different just because, media is different, addressing different audience base compared to the telecom or technology. However, I found media business relatively easier than the other segments, or I will say it is less challenged in the international environment that we operate in.
Right, sir. Thank you for your answer, and I'll move on to the next question now. With a global footprint of 190 countries, is a certain portion of ZEE's internationally broadcasted content purely targeted towards non-Indian audiences? And how does ZEE International market, ZEE APAC and Africa market and distribute the content to this diaspora?
In international business, we are chasing Indian diaspora as well as the mainstream viewers. See, if I have to explain few stages of our business, at first stage, when ZEE went international over 2 decades back, our priority was to reach out to South Asians living outside India. So which means that time we were actually looking at Indians, Sri Lankans, Bangladeshis, all the South Asians who understand Hindi. And we brought content with the subtitles in the to make it easier. So we actually have done subtitles in English, in French, and in different other languages. Having done that, we realized that, South Asian diaspora probably is just around like 2% of the market in Asia Pacific and Africa we are addressing. The next obvious step was that, we brought content that had a appeal to the mainstream viewers in Indonesia, South Africa, African viewers, global viewers. And so if I give you a typical example, let's say of Africa, a continent of 1 billion people, 2 million of that, 2% is, less than 2% is are the South Asians. So we could not afford to miss out on 98% of the viewership, which is the mainstream African viewers. So it was paramount for us to bring channels and content in English, in French, in Indonesian, in different other languages. Those are spoken across different countries. My experience of dealing with 70 odd countries across Asia Pacific and Africa is that if we do our research about the content liking or the content consumption habits and the customization right, this content really has worked very well within the mainstream viewers. Within Africa, there are many countries where our channel is one among the top three best consumed, best performing pay channels. On distribution side, we reach out to our viewers through pay platforms in the market, which are actually dominantly pay markets. Like Africa is largely a pay market. Most markets in Asia are also pay markets. If I take example of Singapore itself, where we are right now connected from, so most of our South Asian viewers are, we are reaching out through our Hindi or Tamil channels, through StarHub and Singtel, which are the two major pay platforms in the country. And similarly, we are reaching out with our Tamil channel through Astro in Malaysia. In Africa, sub-Sahara Africa, we reach out through DSTV, who caters to the major English-speaking 44 countries, and then through Canal Plus, who caters to the French-speaking 26 countries, and they also operate in Indian Ocean Islands. Wherever pay market is not big, there is also a tendency to go free to air. But that one is involves certain regulatory approvals and licenses.
Understood, sir. And thank you for answering that in that much detail. Another question that I had in this regard was that what were some of the key challenges that ZEE APAC and Africa as such faced on its way to becoming one of the market leaders in a few general entertainment categories across segments?
So this journey of going international in Asia Pacific and Africa involved its own set of challenges as well as opportunity. There was quite a nice balance within the challenges and opportunities. In terms of the basic challenge had been to convince our platforms as to why the mainstream channels, our Bollywood content in, let's say, Bahasa or in English or in French or Amharic or Swahili, how it will appeal to the mainstream viewers. Because initially, the general mindset at times was that, look, will it actually appeal to the non-South Asians? However, that was, that we had overcome quite well. And then, once this challenge was overcome, then, a new range of opportunities opened up. And today, we consider our dubbed and customized channels as a big success and growth area, wherein I have dealt with 9 odd launches within the last 5 years, which is quite a significant number. And the most interesting experience has been actually, launching a brand new channel during the COVID lockdown period, wherein most people actually were going slow, saying that, oh, there's a lockdown across various countries. But then we managed to prepare and launch a channel in a language called Amharic in Ethiopia. So this is one unique special market that we have discovered, and we have successfully launched a new channel, and the channel has been doing very well. It has actually, in fact, it has helped viewers while they actually had been at their homes during lockdown. So it's actually the COVID period, lockdown period itself has been quite a balance of opportunities as well as challenges that everyone else faced.
Understood, sir. And yeah, I mean, definitely many congratulations on realizing that success in a time where media production as a whole and activities focused towards generating new content have definitely slowed down or freezed up a little bit. We have another set of questions on management education. So my first question in that regard is the Indian education system better positioned in terms of management education at this point than it was back when you graduated? And what could India improve upon to accelerate the trend of churning out world-class managers?
Uh, Thanks for asking questions related to management education. One of my favorite topic. I would say that Indian education is evolving very well with time. From my times, 2 decades back, when I actually did my management education to now, it has been evolving very nice. And during our time 2 decades back, it was very relevant. Akshay, the education system, Indian education system, was very relevant, specifically from IFT, related to the international business. It was very relevant. Our curriculum was quite relevant, and I would say, if at all we need to do little bit more of what we have been doing already, is a bit of more case studies and the actual situations, so we can actually involve and give a practical experience while students are pursuing their management education.
Right, sir. Yeah, definitely. I mean, in these times when the world as a whole is experiencing a revamp of the way education is rolled out to the student community as a whole, definitely it's good to know that the Indian education system is well positioned to deliver and continue that growth story that they have been experiencing for the past 20, 25 years of management education. Um, Another question in this regard would be, having seen a few lifetimes worth of corporate success in various managerial positions across your career, and knowing what you know today, what wisdom would you give your younger self and to the many youngsters who aspire to be future corporate leaders?
I would say a few things that I believe that has helped me um, do things right is, first of all, one has to believe in oneself, right? So believe in yourself. That is where most people think that, look, do I know it right, or is it that I'm missing out something? Be confident, believe in yourself. And the second thing is, take decisions. I've seen a lot of situations wherein managers are not able to take the decisions on time. And I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying that, take decisions. And that's what has really helped me whenever I actually, switched industry, from having worked in consumer durable to electronics to infrastructure, and then in renewable energy space, and then now in media. Uh, I have actually personally taken about 2 weeks time to understand the new business and the industry and the business models. And then within 2 weeks, I start taking decisions. And of course, one can reflect back after 6 months or 1 year as to whether those decisions taken in the early stage of in this industry were absolutely right, or there could have been a different decisions. But then important is to take decisions so things can move and can progress faster and well.
Definitely, sir. Risk aversion is certainly one of the things that managers should not particularly shy away from. Adding on to that, aside from the whole theoretically ideal personification of a manager, what key interpersonal qualities do you expect a good on your team to embody?
I think when it comes down to dealing with the team, uh, it's also important for a manager to believe in the team. One has to be very sure that I have got the right set of team that is able to execute and operationalize what we want to achieve within the business. And second thing is, of course, we have to keep in mind that teamwork is absolutely paramount for the success of every organization and department.
Understood, sir. Um, Also, with regard to keeping yourself as relevant as possible post the completion of your formal education within college or within an MBA degree, or whether being pursuing a PhD, there are many mixed reactions we usually get towards upskilling on your own time outside of full-time education and outside of workplace mandated training itself. How important do you feel is it to continue your learning journey outside these established structures?
Life is a continuing learning process. So there has been actually, a continuous learning all the time. We learn every day. We learn every morning and evening. And when we reflect back at the end of day, we realize that new things are learned, and technology is moving very fast. So we have to actually learn every day on the technology to keep ourselves relevant. And I also see a shift wherein, as much as the younger generation or the new generation is probably learning from our experience, we are actually learning a lot from the new generation, and that is really helping us do certain things better than we would have done otherwise.
Absolutely, sir. Even with the introduction of things like upstream and downstream feedback within companies, and 360-degree evaluations, and other metrics and tools that are used to continuously make sure that even managers at a higher level are taking into account what their teams have to say about them, and how they respond to that as a whole. That has also become very relevant and very important, and definitely agree with the point that you made. On the lighter side of things, now, sir, if I may, do you find the time outside of your day-to-day responsibilities to pursue your interests outside the workplace? And if so, what do you indulge in to de-stress?
I would say work-life balance is absolutely important. As much as work is my passion, my family is my passion too. So I love to spend time with my wife and my son, and whenever time allows, we try to do bit of um, uh, outdoor team activities, or I would say outdoor, the very basic thing that we actually have been doing now that the lockdown of last 4 months have been seen as at least doing the morning and evening walking or jogging together, while the climate, air, and water has actually even got um, purer than what it was before.
Understood, sir, and thank you for sharing that. Definitely, I mean, given the fact that a lot of millennials and Gen Zs are starting to experience corporate burnouts in essence, because they end up dedicating themselves 100% through and through to their jobs, and don't give much of time for, let's say, maintaining themselves outside of the workplace. So, sir, with that, thank you very much for your time, and I hope we have covered a significant number of questions that you would have expected of us. We hope to catch up with you at some point in time in the future as well. So thank you very much for taking out the time, and definitely do appreciate your responses on all our questions.
Thank you so much, Akshay and Gunjan, for reaching out to me, and it was absolutely pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much.
Our team sincerely believes that our followers had an enriching experience listening to this insightful discussion. Stay tuned for our next episode and follow us at Marketing Weekly to get the latest updates in the marketing domain.